Om Sai Ram, welcome to Living Spiritually. Sai Baba's mode of life, Sagun manifestation of Brahma. Though Sai Baba looked like a man, 5 feet 3 inches in height, he dwelt in everyone's hearts. Inwardly, he was unattached and indifferent, but outwardly, he longed for public welfare. While inwardly very disinterested, he looked full of desires on the outside. While inwardly an abode of peace, he looked restless on the outside. On the inside, he had the state of Brahma, while outwardly he acted like the devil. Inwardly, he loved Advaita, while outwardly he got entangled with the world. Sometimes he looked upon everyone with affection, and at times he threw stones at them. Sometimes he scolded them, while at times he embraced them and was calm, composed, tolerant, and well balanced. He was always engrossed in the self and was well disposed towards his devotees. He always sat on one asan and never travelled. His satka was a small stick, and he always carried this in his hand. He was calm and thought free. He never cared for wealth or fame and lived by begging. This was the head life he led. He always said the words, God is the real owner. Entire and unbroken was his love for his devotees. He was the mine or warehouse of knowledge of the self and was full of divine bliss. Such was the divine form of Sai Baba, boundless, endless, and undifferentiated. The principle which envelops the whole universe from a stone pillar to a Brahma incarnated in Sai Baba. People who were very fortunate got this treasure trove in their hands, while those people who did not know the real worth of Sai Baba took him to be a mere human being and continued to remain miserable. Let's know about Sai Baba's stay in Shirdi and probable date of birth. No one knew of Baba's parents and his date of birth, but it can be determined approximately by his stay in Shirdi. Baba first came to Shirdi when he was about 16 years old and stayed there for 3 years. Then all of a sudden he disappeared for some time. He reappeared after some time in the Nizam state near Aurangabad and again came to Shirdi with the marriage party of Chand Patil when he was about 20 years old. Since then, he lived in Shirdi for a period of 60 years. After which Baba took his Mahasamadhi in the year 1918. From this, we can say that the year of Baba's birth is approximately 1838 AD. Let's know about Baba's mission and advice. Saint Ramdas, 1608 to 1618, flourished in the 17th century and fulfilled a great extent his mission of unity and harmony between religions. But within 2 centuries after him, the split between the two communities widened again and Sai Baba came to bridge the gulf. His constant advice to everyone was act sanely and thus you will gain your object of unity. It is not good to dispute and argue, so don't argue and don't emulate others. The Lord will protect you. Yoga, sacrifice, penance, and knowledge are the means to attain God. If you do not succeed in this by any means, vain is your birth. If anyone does any evil unto you, do not retaliate. If you can do anything, do some good to others. This, in short, was Sai Baba's advice to everyone, and this will stand you in good stead and health, both in material and spiritual matters. Sai Baba as a Sadguru. There are different types of gurus on earth. There are many so called gurus who go about from house to house with musical instruments in their hands and make a show of their spirituality. They blow mantras into the ears of their disciples and extract money from them. They profess to teach piety and religion to their disciples but are themselves impious and irreligious. Sai Baba never thought of making the least show of his worth. He had nobody consciousness, but he had great love for his disciples. There are two kinds of gurus, niyat, appointed, and aniyat, unappointed. The latter, by their advice, develop the good qualities in us, purify our hearts, and set us on the path of salvation. But contact with the former dispels the sense of difference between us and the divine. There are various gurus imparting to us various kinds of worldly knowledge, but he who fixes us in our nature, that is, in ourself, and carries us beyond the ocean of worldly existence is the Sadguru. Sai Baba was such a Sadguru. His greatness is indescribable. If anybody went to receive his darshana, Baba, without being asked, would give every detail of the seeker's past, present, and the future life. He saw divinity in all beings. Friends and foes were alike to him, disinterested and equally balanced. He obliged evildoers. He was the same in prosperity and adversity. Doubts never affected him. Though he possessed a human body, he was not in the least attached to his body or house. Though he looked embodied, he was really disembodied. Blessed are the people of Shirdi who worship Sai as their God while eating, drinking, working in their backyards and fields and doing various household chores. They always remembered Sai and sang his glory. They knew no other God except Sai. How can one describe the love and sweetness of the women of Shirdi? They were quite ignorant, but their pure love inspired them to compose poems or songs in their simple rural language. Letters or learning they had none, yet one can still discern real poetry in their simple songs. It is not intelligence but love that inspires real poetry. Real poetry is the manifestation of true love, and this can be seen and appreciated by intelligent listeners. A collection of these folk songs is desirable, and Baba willing, some fortunate devotee may undertake the task of collecting and publishing these folk songs either in the Sai Leela magazine or separately as a book. Om Sai Ram, Om Satchidananda Sadguru, Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai.